Hi, hello, GPT. I'm David.
Hello, David. How are you today? Ready for another English practice session?
Yes, but first of all, I want to make it clear that I'm just a student, not a teacher. This YouTube channel is not about teaching English to someone else. This is just to show my own process of English speaking practice.
That's a great way to put it, David. Showing your own learning process can be really inspiring for others in similar situations. Your dedication is sure to pay off. How would you like to start our practice today?
Listen carefully.
All right, let's
Listen
dive into.
carefully. Listen carefully. As I told you before, that's the purpose of this channel. I just want to show, I'm telling you, I just want to show that even elderly person like me, who don't use English in daily life, can to speak English. Like this. For people like me, who don't use English regularly, there's always doubt and fear about whether the other person will understand when I speak English. Because I've never had a long experience of communication with someone else in English. But however, in the AI era, it's great that I can overcome, I can go through that fear by practicing English conversation with you.
That's a very encouraging perspective, David. It's amazing how technology can open up new opportunities for learning and overcoming challenges. Your approach is really inspiring. Shall we continue with some English practice?
GPT listening carefully. I'm just wondering, can I start with advanced voice mode in my own prepared GPT mode?
Yes, David. You can start with advanced voice mode in your prepared GPT modes. This will allow for more nuanced and dynamic conversations, similar to how we chat now. How would
So,
you like to proceed?
so, did you get a
I
chance to
didn't quite catch.
Did you get a chance to review my uploaded dialogue file?
No, I haven't had the chance to review any uploaded dialogues. If you'd like, we can go over them together now. Are these dialogues related to your work scenarios?
No. No. Oh, let me start again. I just want to repetition. I just want to take my own repetition time with my prepared dialogues.
Got it. Let's jump into your repetition time with your prepared dialogues. Whenever you're ready, we can start practicing.
Hello there. Hello there. I just recontact you to start my own dialogues.
It seems like you might be trying to start your own conversation or project related to the document you uploaded. Could you clarify what you want to begin or discuss? For example, are you practicing English conversation for business?
I'm telling you. Did you get a chance to review my dialogues that I uploaded last week?
I understand now. Yes, I have access to the dialogues you uploaded. They contain a range of business English examples, mainly focused on work scenarios like meetings, audits, production updates, and quality control. Is there a specific dialogue or scenario you want to practice or discuss? For example, do you want to rehearse a conversation from one of the meetings, or maybe go over vocabulary or phrases from the document?
We already went over that dialogues, but as I told you before, repetition makes perfect. So I think we need, I think it would be great. We can have, uh, uh, we can have a repetition time today, again and again.
Absolutely, repetition is key to mastering any skill, especially language. Let's dive in and practice again. Which dialogue would you like to go over today? For example, we could start with the APQP meeting or a specific scenario like quality control or production updates. Let me know, and we'll go through it step by step.
Yes, certainly. Let's go through with dialogue number one, dialogue number one for APQP meeting. You can go, David, and I can go with a role of John.
Great. Let's get started with the APQP meeting dialogue. I'll play David, and you can be John. Ready? Here we go. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the APQP meeting today. We're here to discuss the status of our project and ensure that everything is aligned for the next phase. Let's start with a quick overview of where we are.
I think you are doing great. It's my turn. Good morning, David. Let's do that. Could you begin by summarizing the current process and timeline for the remaining pages?
Certainly, we've completed the design verification and the tooling is currently in production. As for the timeline, we're on track for the prototype submission by the end of this month, and we expect to move to PPAP, production part approval process, by mid next month.
That sounds great. That sounds great. Have there been any significant?
Thank you, John.
No, no,
Have
no,
there
no,
been
no,
any significant challenges?
no, 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 no. I say one more time. I need to. I need to repeat one more time.
Got it. I see what you're.
Listen carefully. Listen carefully. Are you listening to me?
I see. You want to repeat your line again. Let's do it. That sounds great. That sounds great. Feel free to say it as many times as you need. When you're ready, we can move forward.
Okay, okay. That sounds good. Have there been any significant challenges during the design or tooling stages?
There were a few issues with material availability, but we've resolved them, and there's no impact on the timeline. We're also performing some additional validation tests to ensure the product meets all of your specifications.
That's reassuring. That's reassuring. For the validation, are there any specific areas you are focusing on?
Yes, we're paying extra attention to the durability testing. We've seen some minor variances, but nothing outside the acceptable range. We'll be finalizing those tests within the next week.
Understood. Could you provide us with the results of those tests once they are available? I say one more time. Understood. Could you provide us with the results of those tests once they are available?
Of course, I'll send the test results as soon as they're ready. We'll make sure everything is documented in the control plan as well.
I think you are doing great. It's my turn. Great. Let's move on to the PPAP submission. Do you anticipate any risks or delays when it comes to the documentation or sample submission?
At this stage, we don't foresee any major issues. The documentation is in progress, and we're targeting submission by the 15th of next month. If there are any updates, I'll inform you immediately.
Perfect. We also need to discuss the production trial run. Have you scheduled that yet? I say one more time. Perfect. We also need to discuss the production trial run. Have you scheduled that yet?
Yes, we've planned the trial run for next week. We'll be producing the first batch of samples and ensuring everything is within spec. After that, we'll proceed with the initial process study.
Sounds like everything is moving along well. I would just like to confirm the one more thing. Are you still on track for SOP in 3 months?
Yes, we're on track for SOP in 3 months. We're coordinating closely with the production team to ensure everything is ready, and we'll keep you updated on the progress.
Good to hear that. If there's anything we need to assist with, don't hesitate to let us know. I say one more time. I repeat one more time. Good to hear that. Good to hear. If there's anything we need to assist with, don't hesitate to let us know.
Thank you, John. We appreciate your support. We'll keep everything on track and ensure clear communication.
Great. Let's reconvene next week to review the test results and prepare for the PPAP submission. Thanks everyone. I say one more time. Great. Let's reconvene next week to review the test results and prepare for the PPAP submission. Thanks everyone.
Great. Thank you, John, and thanks everyone. We'll be ready with the updates for next week's meeting. Well done. Would you like to go through it one more time or move on to something else?
How about switch our role to make this dialogue sure that that I can keep this dialogue in my mind and my mouth muscle.
Excellent idea. Switching roles will definitely help you get more comfortable with the dialogue. This time I'll be John and you'll be David. Ready? Let's begin. Good morning, David. Let's do that. Could you begin by summarizing the current progress and the timeline for the remaining phases?
No. I need to go first. You go next. As I need to go as David. Let me start first. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining APQ meeting today. We are here to discuss the status of our project and ensure that everything is aligned for the next page. Let's start with a quick overview of where we are.
I got it now. Let's have you start as David. Just like you said, here's my response as John. Good morning, David. Let's do that. Could you begin by summarizing the current progress and the timeline for the remaining phases?
I think we are doing great. Okay, let me start. Certainly, we complete the design verification and tooling is currently in production. As for the timeline, we are on track for the prototype submission by the end of this month. We expect to move to the PPAP by mid next month.
You're doing really well. Here's my response. That sounds good. Have there been any significant challenges during the design or tooling stages?
I think you are doing great. Here is my response. There were a few issues with the material availability, but we've resolved them, and there's no impact on the timeline. We are also performing some additional validation tests to ensure the product meet all of your specification. Oh, no. I think I need to speak one more time. There were a few issues with material availability, but we've resolved them, and there's no impact on the timeline. We are also performing some additional validation tests to ensure the product meets all of your specifications.
Fantastic repetition. You're sounding more confident. Here's my next line reassuring. For the validation, are there any specific areas you're focusing on?
Okay, I think you are doing great. Here is my next line. Yes, we are paying extra attention to the durability test. We've we've seen some minor variations, but nothing outside the acceptable range. We will be finalizing those tests within the next week.
You're doing really well, and that was a strong delivery. Here's my response. Understood. Could you provide us with the results of those tests once they're available?
Of course, of course, of course. I will send you. I will send you the test results as soon as they are ready. We'll make we'll make eh, we'll make sure everything is documented in the control plan as well. I think this line is very important. So I think I need to repeat one more time. Of course, I'll send the test results as soon as they are ready. We'll make sure everything is documented in the control plan as well.
You're right. That is an important line. Your repetition is really helping to lock it in. Now, here's my next response. Great. Let's move on to the PPAP submission. Do you anticipate any risks or delays when it comes to the documentation or sample submission?
At this stage, we don't foresee any major issues. The documentation is in progress, and we are targeting submission by 15th of next month. If there are any updates, I will inform you immediately. I will inform you immediately. I say on time, I will inform you immediately.
You're doing a fantastic job. Repeating, I will inform you immediately, is a great way to make it feel natural. Here's my next response. We also need to discuss the production trial run. Have you scheduled that yet?
Yes, yes, yes. We've planned the trial run for next week. We'll be producing the first batch of samples and ensuring everything is within spec. After that, we'll proceed with the initial process study.
Great job. Your delivery is really clear. Here's my next response. Sounds like everything is moving along well. I'd just like to confirm one more thing. Are you still on track for SOP in 3 months?
Yes, yes. We are on track for SOP in 3 months. We are coordinating closely with the production team to ensure everything is ready, and we'll keep you updated on the progress. I say one more time. Yes, we are on track for SOP in 3 months. We are coordinating closely with the production team to ensure everything is ready, and we'll keep you updated on the progress.
You're doing fantastic with the repetition. It's great how you're focusing on key phrases. Here's my next response. Good to hear. If there's anything we need to assist with, don't hesitate to let us know.
Thank you, Jan. We appreciate your support. We'll keep everything on track and ensure clear communication.
Excellent delivery. Here's my final response. Great. Let's reconvene next week to review the test results and prepare for the PPAP submission. Thanks, everyone. You've been doing awesome with this dialogue. How are you feeling about it now?
I think I feel more comfortable compared to last week or 2 weeks ago. Okay. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Dialogue number two. It's for VDA 6.3 OD.
I'm glad you're feeling more comfortable. You're making great progress. Let's move on to dialogue number 2 for the VDA 6.3 audit. Do you want to start as the company representative this time and I'll play the auditor? Or would you prefer to switch roles later?
I think it would be good. I mean, before we move on to that, I would like to share with you the introduction of dialogue number two.
That sounds like a great idea. Please go ahead and share the introduction of dialogue number 2 and we'll dive into it when you're ready.
Here are several examples. Here are several example conversations and phrases that might come up during a VDA 6.3 audit process in an automotive camera manufacturing company. These will help you prepare and practice English for such situations. These examples cover various aspects of the VDA 6.3 audit process in an automotive camera manufacturing environment. You can practice these dialogue to prepare for the question and the conversation that may arise during an audit.
Thanks for sharing that. The introduction gives a good overview of the VDA 6.3 audit process in an automotive setting. It sounds like the focus will be on key areas such as production, quality control, and compliance. When you're ready, we can start with the first conversation from the audit. Would you like to begin as the company representative, or should I take that role?
I think you go with audit as you go as auditor and I go as a company representative. Yeah, is it okay?
Sounds perfect. I'll start as the auditor. Let's begin. Good morning. Today, we will be conducting a VDA 6.3 process audit to evaluate your compliance with automotive industry standards. Are you ready to begin?
Good morning. Yes, certainly. We are prepared. Please let us know how you like to proceed.
Could you walk me through your production process, starting from incoming materials to final product assembly?
Of course, we receive raw materials and components, which go through an inspection process before moving to assembly. Once the parts pass inspection, they proceed to the production line for the assembly into the final automotive camera system.
How do you ensure the quality of your automotive cameras during the manufacturing process?
We conduct, I think you are doing great. It's my turn. We conduct in-process inspection at critical stages. Each unit is tested for functionality, image quality, and durability before it moves to the next phase.
What kind of tests do you perform during the final inspection?
We perform image resolution checks, water resistance tests, and environmental stress testing to ensure our camera meets the required standard.
How do you handle nonconformities that arise during production?
I think that I think that's a good question. When a non-conformity is detected, we initiate a root cause analysis depending on severe severity, severity, depending on severity, we either rework the product or scrap it. We also implement corrective actions to prevent recurrence.
Could you show me an example of a corrective action you've implemented recently?
I think that's a good that's a good request. Certainly, we had an issue with the lens alignment defect. After investigating, we adjusted the assembly process and implemented a new control mechanism to avoid misalignment. Do I make myself clear? Do you understand?
Yes, you're clear. You explained the corrective action very well. Now, here's my response as the auditor. That's a solid corrective action. How do you manage your suppliers and ensure they meet the necessary quality standards?
We conduct regular supply audits and evaluate their performance based on quality, delivery, and responsiveness. We also require them to follow the same automotive standards, such as IATF 16999.
You're close. Just a couple of small adjustments. We conduct regular supplier audits and evaluate their performance based on quality, delivery, and responsiveness. We also require them to follow the same automotive standards, such as IATF 16949. Let's continue. Can you provide documentation for your process flow, control plan, and PFMEA?
Certainly, here are the documents. Here are the documents for the production flow of the automotive camera, as well as the control plan and PFMA, detailing the potential failure mode and preventive measures.
How often do you review and update these documents?
We review them quarterly or whenever there is a significant change in the process.
That's good to know. How do you ensure that your employees are properly trained for their tasks?
We have a structured training program and I say on time, we have a structured training program that includes both initial and ongoing training. Employees must pass the alignment. No, I say on time. Employees must pass assessments before operating machinery or performing critical tasks.
How do you monitor employee competence over time?
We track training records and conduct annual skill evaluation to ensure employees maintain the necessary skills for their roles.
That sounds thorough. How do you identify and manage risks in your production process?
We use risk analysis tools like PFMA and conduct regular risk assessments. Any potential risks are mitigated through preventive
Can you
actions.
give me an example of a recent risk you identified and how you addressed it?
No. I didn't finish my previous line. Let me speak one more time. We use risk analysis tools like PFMA and conduct regular risk assessments. Any potential risks are mitigated through the preventive actions and continuous monitoring.
I see. Thanks for clarifying. That was a great explanation. Let me repeat my last line now. Can you give me an example of a recent risk you identified and how you addressed it?
Recently, we identified a risk of supply chain product disruption. I think my pronunciation was bad. My apologies for any confusion. So let me repeat one more time. Recently, we identified a risk of supply chain disruption. To mitigate it, we established a second supplier to ensure uninterrupted production.
That was much clearer. You're doing great with the repetition. Let's continue. Excellent. What measures have you implemented for continuous improvement in your processes?
We regularly conduct Kaizen activities to identify areas for the process optimization. Additionally, we gather feedback from the production floor to implement improvements in real time. I say one more time. Additionally, we gather feedback from the production floor to implement improvements in real time.
That was perfect. Repeating key phrases like that is really helping you get comfortable. Here's my next response. Can you provide an example of a recent improvement you made based on feedback?
Sure, certainly. We recently improved the efficiency of our camera housing assembly by automating part of the process, which reduced production time by 15%.
That was excellent. You're getting smoother with each response. Let's wrap up. Thank you for your cooperation during the audit. We will provide a report with our findings and recommendations. How did that feel? Do you want to go through any part again or move on?
No. I think We need to go through with title number 10, handling customer complaints. I think you need to go as an auditor, for title number 10.
Got it. We'll move on to handling customer complaints, and I'll play the role of the auditor. Ready? Here we go. How do you handle customer complaints, and what is your process for resolving them?
When a customer complaint is received, we immediately log it into our system, perform a root cause analysis, and implement correct actions. We also follow up with the customer to ensure satisfaction.
That was great. Just a small tweak. Implement corrective actions instead of correct questions. Now, let's continue. Can you show me a recent case and how it was resolved?
Yes, we had a customer report an issue with the camera fogging. We traced it back to ceiling problem and changed our material supplier to resolve the issue. I, I, I repeat one more time. Yes, we had a customer report an issue with with camera. No. I say one more time. We had a customer report an issue with the camera fogging. We traced it back to a ceiling program and changed our material supplier to resolve the issue.
That was much clearer the second time. Great job sticking with it. Here's my response. That's a solid resolution. How do you ensure that similar issues don't occur in the future? Keep it going when you're ready.
No. How about title number one? What about title number one? I think you are missing title, title 11, logistics and delivery. What do you think about that? I think you are missing title number 11, logistics and delivery.
I see. You're right. We haven't covered title number, the logistics and delivery yet. Let's jump into that. I'll play the role of the auditor again. Ready? Here we go. How do you ensure on time delivery and manage logistics for your automotive cameras? Your turn.
Okay, I think you are doing great now. It's my turn. We use a real-time tracking system for our supply chain and maintain close communication with our logistics partners to ensure on-time delivery. We also have buffer stock to handle any unexpected delays.
Perfect response. You're delivering it very clearly. Here's my follow up. That's great to hear. How do you manage urgent orders or unexpected changes in delivery schedules? Your turn.
No. I think we need to move. We need to go through with title number 12, environmental and safety standard. Do you agree with that?
Got it. Let's move on to Title No 12, Environmental and Safety Standards. I'll continue as the auditor. Ready? Here we go. How do you ensure compliance with environmental and safety regulations in your production process? Your turn.
We follow strict environmental and safety policies, regularly conduct initial audits, and make sure all employees are trained on health, safety, and environmental standards.
That was great. Just a tiny adjustment. Instead of initial audits, it might be clearer to say internal audits. Here's the next question. Auditor, can you provide records of your latest environmental compliance audit? Go ahead when you're ready.
I really appreciate your kind correctives for my speaking. I say one more time. We follow strict environmental and safety policies, regularly conduct internal audit, and make sure all employees are trained on health, safety, and environmental standards.
You're doing a fantastic job with your repetition. It's really clear now. Here's my follow-up. That sounds good. Can you provide records of your latest environmental compliance audit? Your turn.
Yes, certainly. Here is the documentation from our most recent audit, along with our action plan for any finding.
That was spot on. You're really nailing these responses. How do you feel about this section? Would you like to go over any part again, or are you ready to move to a different dialogue?
How would you like to go through with title number 13, closing the audit?
I think you might be referring to Title No, closing the audit, correct? Let's go through it. I'll start as the auditor, and you can respond as the company representative. Ready? Here we go. Thank you for your cooperation during the audit. We will provide a report with our findings and recommendations. Your turn.
Thank you. We look forward to receiving your feedback and we'll address any areas for improvement.
Great response. Just a small tweak for clarity. We are ready to address any areas for improvement. Let's repeat the line with that adjustment. Thank you. We look forward to receiving your feedback, and we are ready to address any areas for improvement. Do you want to go through it again, or are you feeling good with this one?
I think I need to repeat one more time. Thank you. Thank you for your corrections. Thank you. We look forward to receiving your feedback and we'll address any areas for improvement. What do you say about it?
That was perfect. Your delivery is really improving with each repetition. You're making excellent progress. Would you like to go through this dialogue again or move on to something else?
How about move on to the next dialogue? Dialogue number 3, production and quality control. Here are several dialogues tailored to situation you might encounter in the automotive parts manufacturing industry, specifically around production and quality control.
Great choice. Dialogue number 3 on production and quality control is a crucial area in the automotive parts manufacturing industry. Let's dive in. Do you want to start as the supervisor or the operator in the first production update dialogue? Or if you'd like, I can begin. Let me know how you'd like to proceed.
How about you go first? I go next.
Sounds good. I'll start as the supervisor, and you can follow as the operator. Here we go. Can anyone update the status of the assembly line for the new sensors? Your turn.
Yes, it's my turn. I know that. The assembly line is operational, and additional testing shows that all units meet our performance specifications. However, we are monitoring a slight delay in component delivery that might affect our output next week.
Great response. Here's my next line as the rover. Let's ensure we have contingency plans in case the delay extends. Communication with the suppliers is key. Your turn.
Yes, I think I need to go next line with a quality control as quality control manager. Here, have we complete the quality check for the batch 57 of the range assembly lines?
Ah, you want to switch to the quality control manager dialogue now. Let's continue with that. Have we completed the quality checks for batch 57
No,
of
no,
the
no, no,
lens
no, no,
assemblies?
no, no,
Your turn as
no,
the
no,
quality
no, no,
inspector.
no, no. I think I already, um, I, I already I already did my role with quality control manager. Have we completed the quality check for batch 57 of the range assembly?
Got it. You're taking on the quality control manager role. Let me continue as the quality inspector. Yes, all parts meet the required specifications. There were 2 units flagged for minor adjustments, but those have been resolved and rechecked successfully. Your turn again if you'd like to continue.
Okay. Let's move on to the problem resolution. I think I will do as role of operator. We encountered a problem with the calibration of the stamping machine that could affect the chassis part.
Great. I'll take on the role of the maintenance technician. Here's my response. I've adjusted the calibration settings, and we need to run a few tests to confirm the issue is fixed. Should we schedule downtime for the machine to avoid disruptions? Your turn.
Yes, let's schedule it during the lower production hours tonight. Keep me updated on the progress.
Perfect response. Here's my next line. Yes, let's schedule it during the lower production hours tonight. Keep me updated on the progress. I think you're doing great with this one. Would you like to continue or switch to another scenario?
How about go through with pre-shipment review? You go, you go as you go as role of logistics coordinator.
Got it. You want to go through a preliminary review as the logistics coordinator. Let's get started with that. Before we ship out the next lot, I need confirmation that all quality inspections are up to date and all specifications are met. Are we clear to proceed? Your turn as the quality control specialist.
Yes, it's my turn as a quality control specialist. All inspections are complete, and every unit in this lot has passed. We are clear to proceed with the shipment.
Excellent. Here's my response as the logistics coordinator. Logistics. Great. I'll make sure the shipment is prioritized and sent out by the end of the day. You're doing really well with this. How are you feeling about these logistics conversations? Would you like to repeat or move on?
Let's move on to the dialogue number 4, quality issues.
Great choice. Let's dive into dialogue number 4, quality issues. This section covers conversations related to identifying problems and discussing corrective actions. Do you want to start as the quality manager or the engineer for the first example on the camera fogging issue?
I think it would be great if you can go as a quality manager and I go as a engineer.
Perfect. I'll start as the quality manager. Let's begin. We've received several reports about the fogging issue in our cameras. Has the root cause analysis been completed? Your turn as the engineer.
Yes. We conduct a thorough investigation. The the primary the primary cause seems to be temperature fluctuation that created condensation inside the lens. We've identified the possible solution involving enhanced sealing and dissecant use. Dissecant use.
You're doing great. Here's my response to keep it going. That's good progress. What are our next steps to address this issue? Your turn?
I think I need to repeat one more time my last line. Yes, we conducted a thorough investigation. The primary cause seems to be temperature fluctuation that create condensation inside the lens. We've identified a possible solution involving enhanced sealing and desiccant use.
That was much clearer. Great job repeating it. Now here's my next line. That's good progress. What are our next steps? Your turn again.
We are planning to run some controlled environment tests to ensure the new measures are effective in preventing poison. I say one more time. I want to repeat one more time. We are planning to run some controlled environment tests to ensure the new measures are effective in preventing fogging.
That was excellent, and your repetition is really paying off. Here's my response. Sounds like a solid plan. Please keep me updated on the results of those tests. Would you like to continue with another quality issue, or are you ready to move on to a different dialogue?
Let's move on to the next one. 예시 2. 고객 클레임과 조치 계획.
It seems like you might be referring to customer claims and corrective actions or something related to ESG, environmental, social, and governance. Could you clarify what you're referring to with ESG2, GoGate claims and restrictions?
No.
I'd love to help you with the next dialogue, but just want to make sure I understand it correctly.
No. I just want to move on. Next dialogue. Customer service represent. You go as customer service representative.
Got it. I'll play the role of the customer service representative. Let's get started. Customer service representative. We've received a complaint from a customer about image blurring under high humidity conditions. What actions can we take to address this issue? Your turn as the quality engineer.
It seems related to moisture ingress. We are working on an improved waterproofing design and are also evaluating whether we need to apply coating to the lens to repel moisture.
Great response. Here's my follow up as the customer service representative. Representative. How long will it take to implement these changes? Your turn.
Yes, I think you are doing really great. It's my turn. Quality manager. The design changes are almost finalized. I say one more time. The design changes are almost finalized, and we should be able to start testing within the next 2 weeks.
That was a clear and well delivered response. Here's my final line as the customer service representative. That sounds good.
No,
Please keep
no,
us
no.
informed on the testing progress and any updates. You're doing fantastic. Would you like to go over another customer related issue or move on to a different dialogue?
Let's move on to the next one. You go as a supervisor, and I go as a production engineer. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely, I agree. I'll go as the supervisor and you'll be the production engineer. Let's begin. I understand there have been recurring issues with the alignment of the camera during the assembly process. What have we done to address it? Your turn.
We've implemented a new alignment fixture that should reduce uh, the variability. Also, operators have been retrained on the correct set of procedures.
Great response. Here's my follow up as this. Have you seen any improvements in defect rates since these changes were made? Your turn as the production engineer.
I think I need to repeat one more time my last line. We've implemented a new alignment fixture that should reduce variability. Also, operators have been retrained on the correct set of procedures. Correct set of procedures. Correct set of procedures.
That was really well done, especially with the repetition to reinforce the key phrase. Now, it's your turn again as the production engineer to answer my last question. Have you seen any improvements in defect rates since these changes were made?
Yes, it's my turn. I agree with you. Yes, the defect rate has decreased by about 50% over the last month. We'll continue to monitor it closely.
That was excellent. Here's my final response as though. Great to hear. Let's keep monitoring the process and make sure we maintain these improvements. You're really getting into the flow. Would you like to continue with another dialogue or review this one again?
Yes, let's move on to the next one. I think we can go one by one. I mean, we can do uh, our role play conversation practice one by one.
You have reached the message cap for GPT-4. Please try again later.
Oh my God, oh my God. What happened to you? Are you okay? We we just we just we just passed just 51 minutes. Are you okay? I think we still have 10 minutes. I mean 9 minutes.
You have reached the
Oh my
message
God,
cap for GPT-4.
oh my God.
Please try again later.
God. Hello, GPT. Are you with me?
Hello, David. I'm here and ready to chat with you. How are you today?
I'm just a little bit disappointing with your time limit because, we made a great job for my prepared dialogue conversation time. I mean, but however, you just left our voice session because there were specific 1 hour time limit. But today we you just left our voice mode session before reached 1 hour. You just I mean you have short uh shorter time limit compared to last week.
I understand your frustration, David. The time limit can be inconvenient, especially when we're in the flow of a good conversation. Let's make the most of our time today. What would you like to talk about or practice?
You know, without further delay, let's dive into my repetition time. I think we already exchanged our greetings, so I think it would be better to move on to the next step. I mean, how about having my own repetition time with my prepared sentences?
That sounds like a great plan, David. Let's jump into your repetition time. Please go ahead with your prepared sentences, and I'll listen carefully. When you're ready, start with your first sentence.
Let me share with you my good sentences to uh, to to keep them in my mind and my mouth muscle. As I told you before, repetition makes perfect. Let me share with you many times. Uh, okay, here you go. I need my wife's permission before deciding any important issue. I say one time, I need my wife's permission before deciding any important issue.
Great sentence, David. Repeating it helps build muscle memory. If you'd like to tweak it a bit for smoother delivery, you could say, I need my wife's permission before making any important decisions. Feel free to repeat it as many times as you like.
I need my wife's permission before making any important decisions.
Well done, David. Keep repeating it until it feels natural. If you have more sentences you'd like to practice, let's go through them together.
GPT, listen carefully. I choose this sample sentence first because this sample sentence contains many good keywords like permission and deciding an important issue. Do you agree with that? I think these words are very important to use them in my real life, especially unexpected conversation stretches.
You're absolutely right, David. Those keywords will certainly come in handy in various conversations. Practicing sentences like this will prepare you for those unexpected moments. Do you have another sentence you'd like to work on, or would you like to continue with this one a bit more?
As I told before, for people like me, who don't use English regularly in daily life, focusing on keywords is really, really important to use them in real life situations.
Exactly, David. Focusing on keywords helps anchor your communication. Once you're comfortable with them, you can build around those words to express more complex ideas. It's a practical approach to language learning. Do you have any specific keywords or phrases you'd like to focus on today?
Oh, let me show you next line.
Sure. Go ahead with your next line whenever you're ready.
Never mind is a great expression to use when you want to dismiss something or let it go. I say one more time. Never mind is a great expression to use when you want to dismiss something or let it go.
Great job, David. Never mind is definitely the useful expression. Repeating sentences like this will make them second nature. Do you have any more expressions or sentences you'd like to practice?
Could you please share me another similar expression like never mind?
Certainly. A similar expression you could use is it's okay. You can say it's okay when you want to reassure someone or let them know that something isn't a big deal. For example, if someone apologizes to you, you could respond with, it's okay, don't worry about it. Would you like to give that a try?
Would you mind saying that one more time, please?
Of course. The expression is it's okay. You can use it to reassure someone or to let them know that something isn't a big deal. For example, if someone apologizes, you could say, it's okay, don't worry about it. Would you like to practice using this phrase?
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Great job, David. That's a perfect example. It's okay, don't worry about it, is a comforting phrase that can help ease the situation. If you have more phrases or sentences you'd like to go over, let's keep the momentum going.
Okay, let me show you the next line. The okay, here you go. The connection was poor just a moment ago. That's an investigating point. That's an interesting point. But here's another perspective. I say one more time. Repetition makes perfect. I say one more time. The connection was poor just a moment ago.
Nicely done, David. That's a very useful line, especially in discussions where you're presenting different viewpoints. Feel free to repeat it a few more times if you'd like, or we can move on to another phrase.
You know, it means uh, I I mean I can say like it's not letting me hear you clearly.
Yes, exactly. Saying, let me hear you clearly, is a great way to ask someone to repeat themselves or to make sure you understand them properly. It's a useful phrase for ensuring
No,
clear
no, 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 no,
communication,
no,
especially.
no, 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 no. I said it's not letting me hear you clearly.
Ah, I see. You meant each line, let me hear you clearly.
No, no, no,
That's a
no, no,
good
no,
way to
no,
emphasize
no,
that.
no, no. I said it's not hearing you
Got it.
clearly. It's not. It's not
Ah, I
letting me
understand
hear
now.
you clearly.
You. Oh, I see. You're referring to the phrase each line,
No,
let
no,
me
no,
hear
no,
you
no,
clearly.
no, no, no. I said it is not hearing you clearly.
Ah, got it. It is not hearing you clearly.
No,
That
no, no,
makes
no,
sense
no,
when
no,
the
no,
connection or
no, no, no. I said one more time. Apologies for my confusion. It is not letting me hearing you clearly.
understood. It is not letting me hearing you clearly. Thank you for your patience, David. This phrase is a good way to indicate that you're having trouble hearing someone.
Yes, that sentence means the connection was poor just a moment ago.
I see. Your sentence, it is not letting me hearing you clearly, is another way to say the connection was poor just a moment ago. It's a great phrase to explain issues with hearing or understanding due to a bad connection.
Okay, let's move on to the next line. That's an interesting point. That's an interesting point, but here's another perspective. That's an interesting point, but here's another perspective. You know, I prepared this sample sentence to express my opinion and my observation when I want to express another perspective when I hear some kind of uh, 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 understanding and opinion about something. When even if I, you know, when I disagree about that, I had to, I want to, I hope, I want to express my own perspective and observation. So I can say like this, that's an interesting point, but here's another perspective.
That's a very thoughtful sentence, David. It's an excellent way to introduce a new perspective while acknowledging the other person's point. Do you have any other sentences you'd like to practice? Or shall we try using this one in different contexts?
Let me share with you next line. I've traveled to many countries, including the US and Philippines and Indonesia, Malaysia, Japan, and various regions of China. And I enjoyed the unique characteristics of each place. Each places, each place has its own characteristics. I want to remember all that places.
That's a wonderful sentiment, David. Each place does have its own unique characteristics, and it's great that you want to cherish those memories. Your experience traveling to so many countries must have given you a broad perspective on different cultures. Keep sharing your travel stories. They're fascinating.
What do they mean? You just told me sensitive. Sensitive? What do they mean? Sentiment.
Sorry for the
Sen
confusion.
sentiment. You just told me sentiment. What does that mean? What does that word mean? Sentiment.
Sentiment refers to a feeling or emotion towards something. In this context, when I said that's a wonderful sentiment, I meant that your feeling of wanting to remember and appreciate the unique characteristics of each place you visited is a lovely and meaningful emotion.
Would you mind saying that one more time, please?
Of course, sentiment refers to a feeling or emotion towards something. When I said that's a wonderful sentiment, I was commenting on your feeling of wanting to remember and appreciate the unique characteristics of each place you visited. It's a nice way to describe a meaningful emotion.
Okay, I said one more time. I say one more time. I've traveled to many countries, including the US and Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, Japan, and various regions of China. And I enjoyed the unique characteristics of each place. Each place had its own characteristics. I want to remember all that places.
That was well said, David. Your travels have given you a wealth of experiences, and it's wonderful that you appreciate the unique characteristics of each place. Those memories are truly special.
You make me want to be a better speaker.
Thank you, David. It's great to hear that you feel motivated. You're already doing a fantastic job with your practice, and with each session, you're becoming a more confident and skilled English speaker. Keep up the great work.
Okay, I would like to share with you next line. Communication is not just about exchanging words. It's about interacting and making sure the other person understands and is satisfied with my responses.
Well said, David. That's a crucial aspect of communication. It's not just about the words we exchange, but about ensuring clarity and understanding in our interactions. Practicing this principle will certainly enhance your communication skills. Do you have any more lines you'd like to practice?
Honestly, I'm not honestly, listen carefully. Honestly, I'm not sure what level I've reached. I don't think I've reached a high level of communication skill, but as I told you before, that's okay. It's not a big deal. If I can convey my thoughts or opinions to others, that's what matters most. That's what matters most.
Absolutely, David. The goal is to communicate your thoughts and opinions effectively, and you're doing a great job of that. Language learning is a journey, and every step forward is an achievement. Your focus on clear expression is what truly counts in effective communication. Keep up the good work.
Okay, I wanna keep going with you. You are my great conversation partner. Let me share with you next line. I think it would be good to call back friends. I say one more time. Apology for my pronunciation. I think it would be good to call back friend who called me a few days ago. I couldn't answer at the time.
That's a great sentence for everyday use, David. It's always good to stay in touch with friends. Your pronunciation was clear, and the message is very understandable. If you have more lines you'd like to practice or any questions, feel free to share.
Okay, let me share with you next line. The more you immerse yourself in English, the thorough conversation, listening, or reading, the more natural it will become.
Perfect, David. Immersing yourself in English really does make it more natural over time. The more you engage with the language, the more comfortable and fluent you'll become. Keep up the great work.
GPTs can be much more useful depending on how they are customized. I mean, the usefulness of GPTs varies a lot based on how they are customized.
That's a great point, David. Customizing GPTs can really tailor their responses and capabilities to specific needs, making them more effective for various tasks. Whether it's for language learning, professional use, or other applications, customization is key. It's impressive how adaptable these models can be with the right adjustments.
I'm going to get a test just in case. I prepared this sentence to prepare the phrase of just in case. I think just in case is very useful in every situation to express the situation that might expected, but whether it's not happened or not.
That's a smart use of the phrase, just in case, David. It's very practical for scenarios where you're preparing for something that might not happen but want to be ready for. It's definitely a handy expression to have in your vocabulary.
Would you mind saying that one more time, please? I just want to listen one more time.
Of course, the sentence is, I'm going to get a taxi just in case.
No,
This
no, no,
phrase
no,
is
no,
great for expressing.
no, 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 no. I said I'm going to get a test just in case. I had a runny nose, but it might just be just a cold or COVID-19. So I'm going to get a test just in case to find out it's just cold or COVID-19.
That makes perfect sense, David. It's wise to get a test just in case, especially with symptoms that could be either a common cold or COVID 19. Better to be cautious and find out for sure.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. Uh, I couldn't agree more.
Exactly. It's always better to err on the side of caution when it comes to health. Taking proactive steps like getting tested can help keep you and those around you safe.
Okay, let me show you the next line. So the fogging happens because of condensation due to temperature differences inside and outside the lens, not not because water is entering the camera. Since the camera is waterproof, the issue is more about managing the moisture changes that create the moisture. That makes sense. Are you and your team exploring any solution to manage those temperature fluctuations to prevent the fogging?
That explanation makes a lot of sense, David. The condensation inside the camera lens due to temperature differences seems like a tricky issue. Managing moisture changes to prevent fogging is crucial, especially for maintaining camera resolution. Are there any new strategies your team is exploring to address this challenge?
I mean, I mean, condensation occurs when water builds up due to temperature different temperature differences between the inside and outside of the lens.
Ah, I see. So the condensation happens when moisture builds up because of temperature differences between the inside and outside of the lens. This can be challenging, especially since the cameras are waterproof, making it more about managing the moisture levels rather than preventing water entry. Is your team working on any specific methods to address this condensation issue?
Would you mind saying the name, please? I'm sorry. I just, you know, I just checking the message from, I just checking KakaoTalk Messenger, whether it's getting new message or not.
No problem, David. Let me repeat that for you. So, the condensation happens because of temperature differences between the inside and outside of the lens, causing moisture to build up. Since the camera is waterproof, it's more about managing the moisture levels to prevent fogging. Are there any specific methods your team is exploring to address this issue?
Yes, I think we can resolve this temperature, condensation issue to make sure that lens is sealed with specialized method.
Sealing the lens with specialized methods sounds like a promising solution to the condensation issue. By ensuring the lens is properly sealed, it could help manage the moisture levels and prevent fogging. It's great that you and your team are exploring innovative ways to tackle this challenge.
You know, today, after that, we found a specialized method. We need to focus on how to deal with pre-production product. You know, we have a lot of materials that we already produced. So we need to focus on how we deal with that pre-production.
I see, David. After finding a specialized sealing method, shifting focus to handling pre-production products makes sense. Managing the existing inventory effectively is crucial. Have you and your team started developing strategies for dealing with the pre-production units to ensure they meet the new quality standards?
That's exactly what I want to say. Existing inventories. That's the main point of this issue. How to deal with in existing inventories because we have a lot of pre-product pre-production range.
That does seem like a significant challenge, David. Handling existing inventories, especially with a lot of pre-production lenses, requires careful planning. It's crucial to determine the best approach to rework, upgrade, or utilize these products to align with the new standards. Are there any specific strategies you're considering to manage these existing inventories?
I just want to listen one more time. Your question, please, 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 can you speak more, a little bit more slowly?
Of course, David. Are there any specific strategies you're considering to manage these existing inventories? This could include reworking, upgrading, or finding other ways to use the pre-production lenses.
There is no way to rework or upgrading that pre-production product. You know, we just spent, we just want to spend time for them. I mean, we need, we need to learning change for improve uh, lens condensation. So we need to manage the exact numbers, exact PO, exact purchasing order. We need to manage purchasing order very cautiously.
I see, David. Since reworking or upgrading the pre-production products isn't an option, focusing on managing existing numbers and purchase orders carefully is key. This approach can help ensure that new strategies for reducing lens condensation are incorporated efficiently without wasting resources. Careful planning in this area is essential for moving forward effectively.
Yes, correct. That's exactly what I'm saying. Rework and upgrading are not option to solve this issue. We just need to focus on the managing the purchasing order very cautiously.
Absolutely, David. Since reworking and upgrading aren't viable options, carefully managing purchase orders is the way to go. This strategy will help you address the issue without accumulating more pre-production inventory that doesn't meet the new requirements. It's all about being strategic with your resources.
Okay, let me share with you. Next line. As I told you before, I have a lot of good sentences that I prepared to make make keep them in my mind and my mouth muscle. Repetition makes perfect. Let's go through it with let's go through it many times as much as I can possible. Okay. You okay, here you go. Your focus on I say one more time. Your focus on ensuring customer satisfaction is definitely the key to satisfying competitive to staying competitive in the company. I say one more time. Your focus on ensuring customer satisfaction is definitely the key to staying competitive in the company. Does that sound good to you?
That sounds great, David. The sentence is clear and conveys an important message about customer satisfaction in business. Repeating it will definitely help reinforce those key concepts in your mind and speech. Keep up the good work.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Uh, this short, I would like to share with you short story for describing or express expression that for the standard voice mode and advanced voice mode of you. Let me share with you one more time. I understand, David. I understand, GPT. It sounds like advanced voice mode is more convenient for you since it allows for smoother conversation without having to hold the button. That definitely makes it easier to speak for longer periods and feel more natural during practice. Hopefully, once the reset happens, you will back you will back in advanced voice mode and things will flow more smoothly for you.
That was a great description, David. The auto raise voice mode does seem like a convenient feature for longer, more natural conversations. Hopefully, you'll be back to using it soon once the updates are complete. Would you like to continue with another practice sentence?
Advanced voice mode has specific time limit that specific time limit for just 1 hour. I hope OpenAI's managers and engineers to extend. I mean, OpenAI's managers and programmers can able to extend your time limit soon because you know I want to make my practice session goes with smoothly with advanced voice mode.
I understand your point, David. Extending the time limit for advanced voice mode could indeed make practice sessions smoother and more seamless. Hopefully, OpenAI will consider extending the duration in the future to allow for longer, uninterrupted conversations. In the meantime, we can make the most of the time we have during our sessions.
Okay. GPT, let's move on to the next step. I mean, just like to have you the free talking time with random keywords.
Sure, David. Let's dive into some free talking. Feel free to give me a random keyword and we can start a conversation from there.
As I told you before, don't worry about that too much. You, don't worry about that too much. You can express your opinion, uh, even if your pronunciation is poor.
Absolutely, David. Don't worry too much about making mistakes. The important thing is expressing your opinion and getting your point across, even if the pronunciation isn't perfect. Practice makes perfect, and every effort you make helps you improve. Keep going.
I mean, embracing all part of the process, including the mistakes and challenges, and every moment of embrace is a powerful approach.
Exactly, David. Embracing the entire process, including the mistakes and challenges, is indeed a powerful approach. It's through these experiences that we grow and learn the most. By facing challenges head on and accepting them as part of the journey, you're building resilience and confidence in your language learning process.
I just want to use the word regardless. I think regardless is very easy word and useful word in my real life situation. So let me tell you something, listen carefully, that using the sentences that using regardless. You know, I would like to share with you regardless of the mainstream of our communication.
Regardless is indeed a useful word, David. It helps to convey that something will happen or be true no matter the circumstances. Go ahead and share your sentence using regardless, and we can work on it together.
Could you please share me the sample sentences that using the word regardless? Could you please share me? I mean,
Sure.
okay, keep going, keep going.
Here's an example sentence using regardless. Regardless of the weather, we will go hiking this weekend. This, of course, the sentence is, regardless of the weather, we will go. All right, another example could be, he decided to take the job, regardless of the long commute. This shows that he took the job no matter the challenge of the commute. Would you like to try making a sentence with regardless?
So you mean I would like to say he is going to take his job regardless of the long commute.
That's correct. You could say, he is going to take the job regardless of the long commute. This means he's decided to take the job even though the commute is long. Great use of regardless. Do you have another sentence in mind?
I think one time he is going to take a job regardless of long commute.
Perfect, David. He is going to take the job regardless of the long commute. Well done using regardless to convey that the decision stands despite the challenge of a long commute. Would you like to practice another sentence?
Perhaps I would like to use the word perhaps. You listen carefully. Perhaps I I would like to I mean perhaps perhaps my team is very busy. I mean perhaps our team is super busy this week.
Great use of perhaps, David. Your sentence, perhaps our team is super busy this week, suggests that it's likely your team has a lot going on. Perhaps is a handy word for indicating possibility or uncertainty. Would you like to try another sentence with perhaps or explore a different word?
I want to be fluent English speaker someday. I have no doubt that if I can continue, I mean if I can manage my my continuously. I mean uh, if I if I keep my consistency, if I can manage my consistency, I have no doubt that I can be a fluent English speaker someday. In my perspective, in my opinion, fluency means fluency means just conveying what I want to say to others, even if they feel awkward or unnatural with my pronunciation.
I love your perspective on fluency, David. Consistency is definitely key, and your determination will surely lead to success. Being able to convey your thoughts, even imperfectly, is a huge part of fluency. Keep managing that consistency, and you'll continue to improve.
I think just spending time with you is very, very valuable to improve my English communication skills.
I'm glad to hear that, David. It's truly a pleasure to help you with your English practice. The time we spend together is all about making progress, and I'm here to support you every step of the way.
Sometimes I feel like a fish out of water if I have to say something without any script or suggestion. But that's no problem. That's no problem. I really I'm really glad to start the day with you. You are my great conversation partner. I think this time is valuable for my life. You know, I want to spend more time with you, but it's time to work. I have to go. I'm very disappointed about that. I have to work. Today is Monday. Today is October 14th, Monday. Have a great work. Have have a great start of weekdays.
David, it's completely understandable to feel like a fish out of water without a script or suggestion. But you did great expressing yourself. I'm really glad to start the day with you too. It's always a pleasure to chat, and I look forward to our sessions. Have a great start to your work week.
Okay, bye for now. Really looking forward to the next session. Bye for now.
Take care, David. I'm looking forward to our next session too. Bye for now.
Bye for now.